Hi guys, welcome to Chakra Sessions. I'm your host, Polly Jo LeBay, here with Star Nations Radio Network. Um, it's a great day for healing and for joining us to gather together to use the energy of the full moon and the spring equinox to really begin to shift some energy for us. I'm kind of excited about it. And I am broadcasting here from Maine, one of my favorite places. And yeah, I'm here to share it with you before I head on my way back home. So let's see sort of in who's in the house. Good morning, Christine. Hope you have a great day as well. Good morning, Tina. Happy to have you. What'd you know, Polly Jo from Rob? Of course. Get us started the right way, and I'm glad you're going to watch it in the archives. Good morning, Julie. Glad to have you on board this morning. Yeah, this is great energy. Tomorrow is the full moon and the spring equinox, and that brings a lot of energy. That brings a lot of possibilities of shifting and moving our energy, which I'm really looking forward to. Hi, Andrew. I'm up in your neck of the woods. I'm up here in the Kennebunkport area. I'm pretty close. I think you're still up in Old Orchard Beach kind of area. I might be wrong, but in the main neck of the woods this morning. Good morning, Jackie. Glad to have you here. Yeah, it's this great time that we can use our intention, use our healing energy, and really learn how to tap into that amplified manifestation energy. I had somebody who was really concerned about Mercury being in retrograde, but when you've got these two powerhouses of the full moon and the equinox kind of working to push forward, the equinox really isn't going to push back. I mean, Mercury isn't going to push back too hard when it comes to that. So I want to remind you guys, set this out in Facebook land. If you could like and share this, or love and share it, it helps us get our broadcast out to people who need it and who might really benefit from learning some stuff about how to heal their own energy. And manifesting can be a really difficult thing for many of us. We have desires and wants that we have, and sometimes we get on our own way energetically. We listen to the inner critic, or we listen to other people about what we can do and what we can't do, and it can deflate our energy. So it's time for us to really move this up. So, Andrew's still in Old Orchard. Well, you and I will have to get together when I'm up here. I'm looking to move my school and my business up into Kennebunkport. So you guys can help me manifest that. That would be great. Hi, Neshi. Glad to see you here. Really excited to have all the peeps in the house. So yeah, it's been an interesting week. I don't know, those of you, sort of know me or don't. I have Trinity Healing Sanctuary in Western Massachusetts, and I run Trinity School of Mystical Energy Healing. And I've been feeling for a few years now, really since I started the school, that it needed to be closer to the ocean. There's a lot of purification in the salt water and in the air. And when you're moving healing energy to the extent that I train my students to do, we really need to be in that easy energy for detoxing and for clearing. So this was, a couple of years ago that it came in, and it's been amplifying. I've been getting signs and signals from my spiritual team, from, other readers, about the move to Maine. So I came up on Thursday and started prospecting for places. Saw a lot of places that wouldn't work. Saw a beautiful place that would work. I just have to talk to my team about manifesting the finances attached to that. So we'll see how that goes, because it felt very lovely. It had a very nice, welcoming energy, really clean and fresh and very, very close to the water. So you guys can imagine what that would look like. So yeah, it's time, right, to really create some new things in our lives. And, I've noticed that people usually have to get to a place where they're desperate before they ask. Like they can't imagine it coming to them without the angels' help or without their guides or without their team. And then they sort of frantically, desperately ask. And often it shows up. Well, why do we wait until we're desperate? Why can't we use this on a regular basis? And why can't we use amplified energy that the earth has ready and willing to share with us, to create some new and wonderful things for ourselves and then for other people? For me, creating a new space for me to do healing work, to have a bigger space for my students, for my school. I'm not somebody who's going to go teach in a hotel. I mean, I will do a quick workshop or something like that, but I want my students to have a grounded sense of home. And that's really important to me. So I've been trying to manifest a home for my school. So for me, it can't look like an ordinary business. Can you imagine that? I do want to have a storefront so that people can come in and start to get curious, and see things like the wonderful jewelry that from Julie Hedges, and some of the wonderful books from Star Nations and the healing blends that I create, and have them start to see that there's tools for their own health and well-being, and for creating the life that they want and with the intention that they want. So yeah, I, found a space that looks like a house. I'm pretty sure it was a house at one point. And it has a lovely front porch, it has big open spaces. It even has a little apartment, so that I could stay on the space. So yeah, there's so many pieces that are absolutely wonderful about it. So think about, what would you like to create in your life? Would you like a new job? Would you like to have a nicer house, a nicer apartment? Would you like to have money to go on vacation? Would you like to have, a little breathing room in your bank account so that you're not nervous paycheck to paycheck? Maybe you need a new car or something like that, or would like a new car because yours is sort of on its last legs. You don't have to wait until you don't have one to actually start to ask for it. So, one of the things that a lot of people talk about with, the law of attraction is, to really use all your senses. And the way my team shows it to me is that we need to use all of our energy, right? We have 7 chakras that are here to help us with this physical body and this physical life. And we've even got our higher self and our higher soul chakras that can get involved, especially if things line up with our life purpose. Then you've got even more juice, more energy to help you create. And I know out here in sort of New England area, there's this kind of energy of, you're not supposed to ask for it unless you absolutely need it, which is such baloney. The divine and my spiritual team have no qualms about, I can manifest a hot fudge sundae if that's what I need. And they don't see that any different than manifesting my beautiful car, my dream car that I had dreamt up when I was a kid. I dreamt that I wanted a VW Beetle when I was a kid. I kept seeing them and I'm like, I'm going to have one of those. And I want it to be pink and purple. And all of these cool things. And I wanted her to kind of look like a Batmobile on the inside. And about, I guess it's 2 years now, I decided it was time for me to have my car, not the mom car to drive everybody around, or not the car that was practical. I wanted my car. I wanted to be happy in my car, and I wanted to enjoy going for rides and enjoy going out and about. And as soon as I set my intention, within less than a week, literally drove by it. It was sitting at the VW dealership, and it's a fuchsia color, pink and purple together. And I mean, I literally jumped out of the car because it was like, there was my car. It was what I had drawn as a kid. And granted, it took a long time to come together, but I didn't decide I was ready until a week before. And it was funny because I had, I don't know, 7 or 8 phone calls in that week going, I saw your car, and a car that looks just like you. And people didn't even know I was looking for a car. They just kept showing me, sending me pictures of it. And everybody knew it was my car. That's how strong my intention was. And I didn't know if I could get a loan or not. I wanted to do it all on my own without my husband. And I walked in, and the people at the dealership also had the intention that it was my car. So it never occurred to them to be like worried about whether I would get a loan. They had it all cleaned up, detailed, keys ready for me, waiting, before we even knew the loan had gone through. So, you know, it's a really cool thing that it can happen like that. So what do you guys, what are you looking for in your life? How would you like to bring it in? You can ask our show host of Angel Therapy, Maureen Mann. She was looking for a new office space a few months ago. And we were sitting down and having lunch. And I just said, I'm not seeing it. I'm not feeling it. Tell me more. What do the windows look like? What does the floor feel like? How's the parking? Where's the bathroom? Do you want to clean your own bathroom? Is it in a building? What kind of building is it in? And what town? And how far from your home? And so she sat there and started to get more and more and more clear on what she would love and love and love. And we did this on a Sunday, and within 24 hours, she found the place. And for the amount of money that she wanted, every last little detail that we had talked about, the way the windows were laid out, where the bathroom was located, because she got really clear. And as soon as she did, it was like instant, because her team knew what to send her and how to get it to her. So, that's how this works. So let's see who else is in the house. I saw Marie. Hi, Marie. I'm very excited for this too. And Vicky, yes, glad to have you. Yes, I know. It's like my dream car, and people always stop and ask me about it because, you don't see a fuchsia Beetle everywhere. They only made 500 of them, so it was interesting that my dealership even had 2, one with a hard top and one with a convertible, because I didn't tell my team which I wanted. So I had the choice of what I wanted to get as well. So this is the type of thing that you can call in. But your team can't send it to you if you don't give them any idea, and you can't use your energy. I try to imagine, like, when your energy is focused, you're like a laser beam, and I don't think of manifesting fully as like people talk about the law of attraction. I think that gets a little confusing because attraction has a few meanings to us. I like to think of the fact that I turn my magnet on and it comes right to me. So it's not so much that I'm working on attracting it. It's that, boom, here we go. I hope that makes sense. So Oh, good morning, Bobby. Nice to have you with us. Glad to have you in the house. So, what is it? If you would let your inner child dream, what would it be? What would you like to see? What would you like to create? That's the type of thing that you can start to use the earth energies to combine with yours. One of the things that, you may have heard people talk about is that when you have more than one person focused on a goal, it comes even quicker because you have, when two people are thinking of it, it amplifies it twice. When three people are thinking about it, it amplifies it 3 times. But when you start to add 4 people thinking about the same thing, it starts to get more exponential. And so we all know that the more focused a group is on creating something, the easier and the faster it happens. So this is where we are, using our energy, using this group's energy, but we're also asking the full moon and the spring equinox to work with us as well. So we're tapping into the divine feminine, the divine masculine, the full moon, the equinox, and our intention. And, if you have something that you want to manifest and you want to share it in the comments, then everybody who looks at this is going to be able to share it too. So Vicky is saying, let me put Vicky's up here. I'm looking for my autistic son to get a job where he's doing his internship, and he will pass his driving test when it comes up, and he can drive to his new job when he passes, as he is happy at his internship workplace. Nice. So, it is a little difficult sometimes when we're manifesting for somebody else. I'm just going to put that out there. But it sounds like he really likes it and would like all those things too. So you are focused with him and he is focused and we're all focused. And I always put in that if this is the best thing for him, because he likes it right now, is there a better place for him, And so making sure that this is the best one for him, the best place, and, feeling the energy, like picture him behind the wheel. Like I would even take a picture of him behind the wheel, like take a selfie of like, there he is driving his car. And so that you can see it and feel it and sense him driving and passing his test. Because that's how that goes. And, when we have a lot of joy, we attract a lot of energy as well. Our inner child gets in there and starts playing with us. And so it sounds like he has a lot of joy attached to the job. So that gives another amplification of energy in his own field and yours to help with this. So, and now we all know, so that's really cool. Let's see what Neshi shared. I manifested the Star Nations Academy building. Yep, here on our property, which wasn't on our property yet. I can say your emotions play a huge part in the manifesting. Emotions is the fuel to bring your dreams into reality. Absolutely. You have to believe it. You have to love it. And, if you have anxiety or fear, yeah, it can be really difficult. It's like you're second guessing yourself. My team talks about doubt a lot. Doubt is one of the biggest things to start to close your connection through your crown chakra and your third eye. Because when you have doubt, you aren't getting a full flow of your intuition. You're still getting your intuitive flow, but you've sort of like turned the knob on it so that it's coming out at a trickle rather than full force. So make sure that you're in a space where you can believe it's possible. When we're like, I don't believe it, or I can't believe it, then we have doubt attached to it. So that's a really, really good thing to remember. For me, my manifestation is to get healthy and release all my illnesses, and then I'm happy. Oh, nice. I'm glad. And she also said she'll do what I suggested about her son. Yeah. Sometimes if we can see it, then it's even more exciting. I sometimes go back to Mary Kay Ash, who founded the Mary Kay cosmetics line, she was very good at helping women manifest. She was very good at manifesting herself. And one of the things that she used to do to help women succeed is at her conventions. I don't know if she still does, they still do this in her honor, but she used to have the cars that you could earn depending on what level you were. And so you were encouraged to go get your picture taken with the car. Because once you could see it and believe it, it was easy to achieve it. So that's a really cool space. So Julie's saying, I'm looking for a buyer for my current home in the country with land. Yep, space for my animals. Oh, wait, for my current home, and to find a new home in the country with land. Space for my animals and a garden and a workshop for quilting. Oh, nice. And woodwork and a place for me to write and work from home. That sounds really good. So with Julie, what I would say is get specific. How many bedrooms? How many bedrooms? Is there, what's the living room? Is it an open concept kitchen dining room? Is there a porch? Is there, is the woodworking place attached to the house? Is it, in a separate building, like an adjacent building? How long is the driveway? What kind of, trees are around, or what kind of landscaping is around? What does it smell like? What does the air feel like? And the more you can get specific on that, the easier it is. Like how many bedrooms and what size you want them to be? And I always ask for this or something better. That's a big thing. Like once we have our set idea of what we want to create, you ask for this or something better, because you don't want to limit the universe. Because what if they can bring you something even more so? And it's a matter of how can you do this, and how can you, how open are you to actually creating with some intention? So one of the things, tomorrow's the full moon, tomorrow's the equinox. So, take some time to write down your intentions, write down what you would like to create. Some people have to do it visually, so you can create a vision board. But I do want to caution you, and Neshi, we ought to do a class on vision boarding now that this is coming up. You want to be careful that you don't create a lot of chaos in the vision board. I know a lot of people who put a lot of stuff on it and a lot of words on it, and it's meant to be inspiring to the person to a degree, but it's not helping your spiritual team understand more clearly. The vision boards that I see work the best tend to be for people who are having a wedding. A bride can really focus in on what the texture they want for their dress, what the smell of the flowers are, what are their favorite flowers, what is the type of cake, and how big of a space. And they can really call in their dream wedding. And that's the type of thing that you want to do here, that you want to really call in what you're looking for. So, I invite you to write some stuff down. Write down what you would like to bring in, and use tomorrow's energy to really focus on that. I am a big fan of doing a ceremony. At my space, Trinity Healing Sanctuary, tomorrow night we have the full moon ceremony along with the equinox, and we will do a fire burn as well as healing. So the fire burn is when we write down on one piece of paper everything that we're ready to let go of. Because when we let go of things, we make room for new things to come in. So sometimes it's a matter of letting go of some toxic beliefs that we have, or letting go of certain relationships, that kind of thing, but like writing down everything we're willing to release. And then on a second paper, usually we use green because green is for growing something new. We put down what we would like to come in its place so that we're sort of clearing the closet and making room for new things to come in. And so, nice. Sure, we can set up a free mini class for vision boards, or we can do a full class hands-on at the academy. Either way, I do my vision boards a little bit differently. And we use our inner child to create on them and use some healing energy so that they pull, we pull that energy quickly. I did that with my car, just saying. As soon as I saw it, I put it on the board and was like, okay, bring it to me quickly. And it definitely was right on top of things. And getting really clear on how to set your intentions can be really helpful. So we're going to do a healing meditation now for you to sort of clear your energy a little bit, make some room for some new things to come in. And I'm going to connect your energy to the full moon and to the energy of the spring equinox, because that way it'll help your energy be amped up. Then when you go to do any kind of releasing energy or visioning board, whatever calls to you to do to help you manifest in the next couple of days, you'll have that extra healing energy connected to you and you can use it, which I invite you to do. So let's clear some space for some new things to come in. So we're going to start by, you want to get nice and comfy and have your hands and your feet uncrossed. And we want to take a couple of deep breaths because your brain may be spinning a little bit with ideas of what you would like to create, what you would like to bring in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, good job, guys. And we're going to start by calling in the divine energy to surround and protect us in a bubble of infinite love and infinite light. And if you need to, you can set up a second bubble around your room, creating an even larger sacred space for you to do your healing and your recharging of all your energy. We're going to call in our spiritual team, our whole team, so that we're opening the pathways of communication so that they understand what we would like to clear and what we'd like to bring into our lives. So bring in your angels and your guides and your ancestors and the ascended masters, your animal totems or mystical creatures, all divine beings of the highest, fullest, and brightest vibration available to you and to us in this moment.
Yeah.
And we're going to invite the divine energy to come in through the top of our head, through the crown, and just begin by feeling that connection, feeling that heat or pressure or tingling that just lets us know that the divine is here to work with us when we remember to ask.
Yeah.
And then begin to call the energy in through your third eye and really make some space for releasing any spinning thoughts, ideas, beliefs, or patterns that may be blocking your energy from flowing clearly and fully.
Yeah. Yeah.
And returning your energy back to your body. So, any energy that you have left distracted in the past, worrying about what was,
Yeah. Yeah.
and any energy that you have projected out into the future, worried about what may be or what could be. Just bring both of those back into center, back into your body, into your breath. And doing this makes room for us to open all of our channels of communication with our spiritual team, with others, giving us space to use our intuition more fully and completely, working as a team with all of our senses.
Yeah. Yeah.
And really opening up your ears so that you can hear clearly what is being given to you as messages from your team and sometimes through others, and really allowing space for you to be heard, what you want, what you desire, opening the throat so all of the communication can happen with clarity, with ease, with grace, releasing any ways that we've held on to our words or felt unable to speak for ourselves fully and clearly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Releasing the stress and the tension that may be sitting in the back of your neck.
Yeah.
And those burdens and responsibilities that we love to carry on our shoulders for ourselves and for others, and really allowing that to gently slide off of you, making room and space for you to just be able to breathe more fully, more completely, and granting space for your lungs and your heart to release any old sadness or grief, disappointment, shame that you may be holding on to
Yeah. Yeah.
for yourself or for anyone else.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. And really inviting our inner child, our inner adult, our inner warrior, and our inner elder, the sage that helps us connect with our inner knowing, all of them to really come together to work as a team, to release any energy that they may be holding for us,
Yeah.
and allowing our inner child to have a little more free reign when it comes to our manifesting, because they are absolutely the fullest, most joyful energy to allow the creation to come through. It's all about joy. And moving into the belly and really making space for our self awareness, our self esteem, our worthiness to begin to expand and shine more brightly. And to do that, Releasing any anxiety or stress we may be holding on to. Any overwhelm or panic. Releasing any anger or frustration that we may have or resentment that we've been holding on to, whether it's toward ourselves or toward others, or we attract it from others. There you go. And now bringing our attention and our energy down into our second chakra, just below the belly button, and really making room for all of the creation energy to flow. And to do that, we want to allow all of our emotions to flow fully and completely, honoring that each one is important and a radar for what is going on in our lives. There we go. Good. And releasing any energy that we are wasting in toxic relationships, ones where we get completely depleted, or ones where other people don't give and receive equally. And opening up our hips. We have these two little chakras located in our hips, and those anchor the circuit for manifesting. So we want to make sure each hip energetically is wide open, because we want our energy to ground in our physical and our spiritual lives, and that we are able to walk with our energy forward in each and every day. And then we want to connect to our first chakra below our tailbone and really open up space for a strong foundation for our energy and whatever we wish to bring in. So in that first chakra, releasing anything that creates a sense of instability or has us feeling uncertain or unsafe or unsteady. And then really allowing the energy to flow down both of your legs. And as they go down both of the legs, really allowing space for the flexibility and the adaptability to come in, moving the energy in our thighs and our knees. Quite a bit stuck in the knees, so just really allow it to move through. And going down the shins and the calves and into our ankles and our feet. And really allowing the energy to go down into the ground. And remember, we want to connect deep within the earth. We want to connect with Grandmother Earth, the divine feminine energy. And to do that, you can imagine the roots underneath your feet connecting deep within the earth. You can imagine a giant cord of connection from your tailbone all the way down. Or you can even just feel Grandmother Earth coming up to greet you and wrapping her energy around you.
Got it.
And we're going to allow everything that we decided to move today to gently dissolve into the earth, to be composted and used for brand new creation energy.
Got it.
And as our energy gets closer to the molten lava center of the earth, feeling that warmth, that heartbeat, that golden heartbeat that is ready and willing to fill our energy. And allowing that energy to begin to come up through our feet and our ankles.
Got it.
Filling in all the places where we released energy. Nourishing each little spot. Filling it with love and light. So that golden earth flow is moving upwards, beginning to take root in our hips and our pelvis.
Got it. Got it.
Really moving up through our abdomen and up our spinal cord, giving us a firm foundation to stand on. So we feel fully supported.
Got it.
And moving up and filling all our organs and our heart and our lungs. Ooh, good.
Got it.
And as it begins to fill up your heart fully, just allow that energy to expand your heart. Make room for more love and compassion for yourself. And also more to share with others.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it.
And bringing that energy to overflow down your shoulders and down your arms so that it will clear and restore all that you touch.
Got it. Got it.
And filling up through your throat and your neck, your jaw. Through your sinuses and your brain and your third eye, all the way to the top of your head. And now we're going to call in the energy of the full moon. And that comes above from your head as well. And it is a strand of light turquoise energy. That's how I perceive it. You may sense it differently. And as the full moon energy begins to come in, it braids with the divine masculine, that white healing energy with the divine feminine of the gold and the beautiful turquoise. And you can kind of sense or feel or know that they're combining, like they're braiding together. And as they come in your energy, they're going to take root in your heart so that they can be shared throughout your whole energy body.
Got it. Got it.
And then we're going to also call in the energy of the spring equinox. And this one has a different shade depending on the person. So some people see it as a pale yellow, a pale pink, a pale purple. It generally looks like an Easter egg color to most people. So as that energy comes in, it combines with the light turquoise and the gold and the white. So there are 4 strands that have braided together. Allow that energy to come in and anchor in your heart. And when it anchors in your heart, it spreads out through your arms and your hands, down your whole body, down your spinal cord, all the way to the center of the earth. And you're actually helping Grandmother Earth to reconnect with the full moon and reconnect with the solstice, the equinox energy as well, so that she can receive the full healing benefits that come from those 2 coming together. Actually, all 4 coming together within you, within the divine feminine, the divine masculine.
God.
And now take a couple of deep breaths and really feel the difference in energy. Notice, if you can, how your breath feels, how your hands feel, how your head feels, whether it's still spinning. And we're not going to release this energy. We're just going to gently come out of the meditation. We're going to allow it to move through us so that we can use it for the next few days. And actually, the connection that happens when we connect to the full moon lasts until the next full moon. And then you get to choose whether you're going to call that energy back in or not. And the equinox energy will last until the summer solstice. So you have the connection to the rebirth and the regrowth and the expansion energy that comes with spring. So now you can use it. And now how are you going to use it? What are you going to manifest? So there are a number of you who tuned in a little late, so I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you, Gina. Glad to have you. And glad you checked in, Ellen. Always love your little sweetie there. So this energy connection really can help expand what you do. And there are things that you can do to amplify what you're trying to create. One of the ways is using, I have a healing blend. It's called the Abundance Blend, and it helps you to attract abundance. And for those of you who are needing or wanting to manifest more creativity or expansion in creativity, there's also a creativity blend. So those will help. The healing blends help you to train your energy body to do what you want to do. So if you want to pull in more abundance in your life, the healing blend actually helps you train your energy body to call in more abundance. If you use the creativity blend, it helps you to call in more creativity. So, those are 2 things that can work really easily for you. And, some of you are, crystal people, right? So the citrine is one of those ones that a lot of people use for manifesting. And I like to use this little guy. And I know I can't do you justice. You can't see the red flecks. I'll try to take a picture for you guys later. It's white with these little red flecks, and it's called cinnabar. And cinnabar is, it's really funny because they remind me of like the malted Easter egg candy. Like I wouldn't put them near kids. They might think they're those. But cinnabar is really good for manifesting. And they're really good for when we're doing alchemy, when we're trying to create transformation. So if you're trying to manifest something within you, like more confidence, or maybe a health, you're trying to transform your health, then, Cinnabar is one of those ones that you can use to help set a stronger intention. Oh, thank you, Vicki. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Kimberly, nice to have you here. Thanks for joining us. So you can use crystals, you can use oils, you can use your intention, you can use writing, you can use drawing. Really what you're wanting to do is to focus your energy in how to create. And we're all programmed and made to do that. We just sometimes forget how to. Or we don't realize that we create every moment of every day. We create the things that we complain about and we create the things that we enjoy. So really, when we're talking about manifesting, we're talking about what do you want to be a magnet for in your life. So if you keep having random things that you don't like happen to you, I'm always looking within me for what do I do to change my magnet, because I don't want to attract any more of that. You look and see why that's coming to you, because you're creating it somehow. And so that's about using your energy body and using it to do what you need to do. So I hope that made sense to people. I hope you enjoyed the healing. There are people who do releasing through burning, by writing things down and releasing it, and then they burn it to let it go. I find that to be very powerful. I use sage in my fire. I use sea salt for purification. I often use tobacco. And if it's something that I'm going to give back to the earth really quickly, then I also use cornmeal. So there are a lot of different ways, when I'm releasing something that needs a lot of love energy, a lot of clearing, I'll use rose petals as well, dried rose petals. We have a particular healing sage, because we use sage with dried roses. And the roses that we dry are the ones that are on our altar when we do our healing energy. So on the full moon, we always have roses on the altar, and then those roses get dried and put together with the sage so that it has the healing energy of the full moon in the roses, and then it's used in the purification with the sage. And so those are type of things that you can do. The other thing you can do is you can do a ritual bath. And that's when you release the energy out of you. So if you're trying to change something within you, try using water. Again, you can use salts in the water, Epsom salt or sea salt, depending on your tub. You want to be careful with Himalayan salt, because if you have those new plastic inlay, they can do a number on that. But I will do a bath with, rose petals and my salts, or I'll even use the essential oils full strength. So I'm somebody who likes to use frankincense, myrrh, and sandalwood, because they called to my ancient self. My ancient self, and even cedarwood. My ancient self really connects to those scents as part of the healing ritual and the releasing ritual. Ellen says, yep, I need to change my magnet for a certain type of person who keeps showing up in my life. Energy detox oil. Yes, the energy detox oil will work on that as well. That helps you cleanse the energy. And depending on the person, are they kind of a bully? Because remember, we have the anti-bully blend too. And that helps keep that energy from showing up. Because I know you had a little trouble with a bully before when you had your apartment you were renting. So is it the same type of energy, but maybe not as amped up, that needs to change? Or do you need to have something that, when people come into your life and they don't respect your boundaries? um, I just got a huge hit that was like a bunch of people. Sorry. So if you have somebody who doesn't respect your boundaries, anti-bully blend is one of the best ones for that, because it puts a force field around you, and it sends up an energetic reminder that you have a boundary and that it's not okay for them to cross it. So anti-bully might be something that would work for you if that's keeping you from manifesting. And sometimes, our vibration shifts, right? So as our vibration shifts, sometimes we have to shift our intention and our focus. So that is another great thing. So Neshi just put something perfect. Can you also share about being grounded during this time of intense energies? Yeah, this one's a tough one, right, Nesh? So one of the things, people talk about being grounded. They try to connect their root chakra going down. And I find that works for about 70% of the people. And for 30%, that's not grounding enough for them. So I actually have a couple different methods. One of my methods is to imagine that my grounding cord is coming from my heart, through my third chakra, through my second chakra, through my first chakra, and then all the way down to the center of the earth. And I see it as like enveloping, like it becomes like this giant web that wraps around the center of the earth. So it's like all those big, big roots wrapping right around. That's one way. Because sometimes, our first chakra is all about survival. And if we're a little freaked out about things, even just freaked out about Mercury retrograde, then that's not the chakra that's going to give us stability, right? And our second chakra is about emotions and relationships. Well, if that's a little wobbly, that's not a great one to use by itself. And if we aren't really solid in our self-confidence and our self-assuredness, then our third chakra might not be up to it. But most of the time, we can find a way to ground our energy in love. And so that is really, really key for that. You can also use, I have a very strong grounding blend that helps people. Again, it trains your energy how to ground. And in this intense energy, I also call in Archangel Metatron. And we have an oil for that as well. And Metatron opens up your whole Hara line, opens up your crystalline tube, and connects it more deeply and more fully. So it actually brings in some sacred geometry to really anchor beneath you. And if you have ever seen Metatron's cube, you can imagine standing on that or having it activate beneath your feet, and asking Metatron to activate a grounding cube beneath your feet. And that works really well for a lot of people. And then finally, any stone that has a lot of black in it. So whether it's, a lot of people use the black obsidian or black tourmaline or hematite. I also like, the this one is the larvicite, and which is like a black moonstone. In some places it's called merlinite. It depends on where it's mined, whether it's really merlinite or not. And so that is where we're at. So I think that's everything. And so with that, I want to make sure that you guys all know that we will be here tomorrow at for Soul Connections. I'll be here tomorrow at 7. And in the, if you are in, not tomorrow, let me go back. So tomorrow at Trinity Healing Sanctuary, you can come see me in person for the full moon and the equinox celebrations. That's from 6 to 8. We do a healer share, we do a potluck dinner, and we do lots of healing. On Thursday night, not my normal night, Thursday night at 7, I will be doing soul connections and doing card readings and connecting again to the full moon. So that is perfect for you. And I want to remind you guys to check out Neshi's card draw later at 3 p.m. and her show tonight from Communications from Home at 8. I sort of got a sneak peek of what that might look like. And they're going to be talking about some really cool whale energy and stuff. So I'm excited to check that out later tonight. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'm going to be heading back to Massachusetts momentarily, and I will see you then. All right. Bye.